All right, thanks for tuning in, everyone. This is Anthony Smoak. Go ahead and check me out on anthonysmoak.com. Definitely hit subscribe here on YouTube. As always, if you learned something, hit that like button and make sure you ring the bell so you get a notification when I drop a new video. Also, check me out on Twitter at Anthony Smoak. Okay, so today I'm gonna make this short and sweet. Hopefully, gonna show you a little dashboard I put together. But the main thing that I want to teach you is how to use a wildcard filter in Tableau on your dashboards. This is something that I think is very useful. It's going to be handy for you. Let's say you have, I'll show you like the product list in Tableau Superstore. Let's say you needed to filter that by some sort of word in that product description, right? Without selecting an individual item. If I wanted to see everything that had paper in the product title, if I wanted to type in paper, boom, filter and just show me all of those items that have paper. So this is a wildcard search in Tableau. It's gonna be useful for you. Make sure you stick around. I'll show you how to get that done. Okay, so I want to show you this dashboard that I put together, and whenever I want to learn a couple new concepts, I'll put a dashboard together. It's very, easy for me. I wouldn't say it's easy, but I'm saying when there's some things that I want to learn, I'll throw it in a dashboard. So let me show you this dashboard. I call it a training dashboard because it's really training me, giving me an opportunity to practice. I'll walk you through this real quick before we get into the filtering data by wildcard search with multiple keywords. So if we look at this dashboard, what I wanted to learn was how to use parameters here. So this is a parameter. I could change the date. This is a start date. Let me go back in here. Didn't mean to do that. This is a period start. This is period end. And so I built out these KPIs. And you'll see I can't click on these, right? It doesn't give me that annoying blue because I've got a blank shape in front of these. That's a technique in and of itself. But anyway, I've got these KPIs that are looking at the period that I put in to the period start, ending here as well. It'll calculate the sales, right? Give me an indicator of the percentage versus a previous period, right? So versus this previous week, you can see I'm shifted by 7 days here because I selected previous week. So if I selected here, this compare with previous month, right? You'll see I'll get different numbers. This updates, different color, different percentage here. You can look at the dates. I'm shifted back a month. Guess what happens when I go previous quarter? I'm shifted back 3 months, right? 1 versus 10. And then previous year, right? It calculates 12 months back. So same week interval, just shifted a year back. So, I wanted to learn how to do that. Just put some parameters in here and, some filtering. And I said, hey, let me create a dashboard to do that. Good technique there that I picked up. And then we're all familiar with the Ryan Sleeper, I think he calls it Super Sample Superstore dashboard, something to that effect, where you can leave an annotation about something on your dashboard that you want to call out. So if I went, 2015 paper sales are up 26.2% from the previous year. Is that correct? Is that the correct annotation? So if I went 1/1/2015 to, let's say, 12/31/2015, what do we got? Are we up? Paper sales. So I have to put in paper. Anyway, well, here, let's just do this. Paper. And so this is where we're going to use the wildcard search. So yes, you'll see a little bit here. I put in paper and see how it filtered all of these to paper. But then my annotation is not correct because I'm saying 26.2%. But why is that? Because I believe, see that 26.2%. You'll see that there's a lowercase p for paper in there as well. So, not great data governance here in our example company. Ideally, I'd have a category and I'd have paper as a category and I could filter on that. But just, for our purposes, we're going to pretend this is the only way that we can filter. So I'm going to show you this technique again. filtering data by wildcard search with multiple keywords, and this is an OR search, so it's got to have uppercase paper or lowercase paper in the product name. So I wanted to learn how to do that. And then obviously the annotations. If I go here to insights, again, this is taken, I just reverse engineered a Ryan Sleeper dashboard. I always wanted to know how he did that. I can change the sentiment here, and the colors change down at the bottom, right, for both of these. So if I wanted to change whatever I changed here, 2015 paper sales are up. If I deleted this and said, don't worry, be happy, right? Shout out to Bobby McFerrin. Don't worry, be happy will show up here, right? So anyway, we've got that. So now let me get into showing you how to filter the data by wildcard search with multiple keywords. Just wanted to show you this process. Okay, so let me show you where I learned how to do this filtering data by wildcard search with multiple keywords. And so it's out here in the Tableau knowledge base, right? So if you're in a rush and you just need to know how to do it, you can go out here and follow the instructions. I'm going to start with the OR search, but the only downside of that is, look at what's going on here in this field, this calculated field you have to create. Do you understand what this is all about? Because we're using regular expressions here. And so a regular expression is a sequence of characters that specifies a search pattern. It's literally hieroglyphics, to the uninitiated. So I want you to be that person on your job that can break down exactly what's happening here instead of just copying and saying, hey, it works. Don't ask me to explain why, right? I want you to be that person that understands what's going on and why it works. So stick around, because I'm going to show you why it works instead of you just cutting and pasting what's going on. So again, shout out to the Tableau knowledge base, but if you're like me, you're a visual learner and you want a little bit more explanation on what's going on here in these functions. So stick around. Okay, so in order to understand the character string that we're going to build, I'm here at regex101.com. So you can type in a regular expression and test it. Type in a string to see if it meets your criteria here. So I'm going to type this in. Oops, I'm going to do an open paren, and then I'm going to type lower space paper. I'm going to put in the pipe symbol here, and then uppercase paper, and close that out. And so this is a good site in that it'll let you test regular expressions. So, the parentheses is a group, and so I can type in a search term, literally paper, and then this pipe is the equivalent to the Boolean OR. So I want to flag paper, lowercase, or uppercase paper, close paren. So we can test that out. So if I type in plastic bag, right, I don't get a hit, right? It does not match the subject string. If I type in paper bag, I get a hit, right? If I type in uppercase paper bag, I get a hit, right? So that's the expression that this calculated field we're going to build is formatted as. So we've got our search terms. We're going to have a pipe here, and then we're going to have our other search terms. So however many commas I have, we're going to build it out in this format. If I had another search term, I'd have a pipe in that search term. But this is the format that it needs to be in to make that OR search work. So let's get into Tableau here. Okay, so back in Tableau, let's go. I'm going to show you what I did to make this work here. So first thing we need to do is we need to create a parameter called search terms. And I already have one created. You should know how to create a parameter. I go in here, you can create parameter, but I'm just going to edit the one that I already have in place here. So if I go to edit, I called it search terms. The data type is a string. I don't have a current value there. value when the workbook opens, that's fine. And allowable values is all. So we're just going to create that parameter that's going to hold our search term. So now we need to create two new calculated fields that are going to use this parameter as an input. And so the first one is going to be regex string OR. This is where we need to get our whatever we type into the parameter that we just created. So for instance, if I typed lowercase paper, comma, uppercase paper, because I want to filter by those two terms, our function here is going to put it into this format, right? So I'd have paper, the pipe, and then uppercase paper within parentheses. So let's take a look at this function. So we've got regex replace. And so we don't need to do this. This is one thing that I was scratching my head on. So you can leave that in there, but I'm just going to take out that. I'm just going to have a replace. So if we go down here to what I have, if we kept in regex replace, it's looking for a string input, which we have, a pattern, and replacement. So take a look at this. If I had ABC space 1, 2, 3, in the second argument, I could put a /s, meaning look for spaces, and replace them with a dash. But I'm literally putting in, if you take a look at what I'm doing, I'm using just regular replace because I want to replace commas, right, with pipe. So I'm just telling it to look for what's in between these quotes here. Look for comma, right? I don't have a /s. It's not, some sort of regular expression. I just have a plain old comma, so plain old replace will work. So look for commas and replace every comma with a pipe. That's all this is doing. And then I'm just using concatenation. Put the opening paren around here and put the closing paren around. So you end up with something like this. And when I say I'm doing this, it's Tableau, the Tableau knowledge base. Except, I'm telling you use replace instead of regex replace. But I put this here because I wanted you to understand, right? So, okay, you create this regex string OR. So now we need to create another calculated field. And this is going to be regex OR filter. So let's take a look at that calculated field. And so now we're using regex match, regular expression match. It returns true if a substring of the specified string matches the regular expression pattern. So take a look at this. This is our pattern, right? We just created this calculated field. It's that paper, paper, pipe, paper. That's the pattern. And this is the string. I want to apply my regular expression pattern against the product name. And if it's in there, right, if I find paper or uppercase paper in product name, it's going to return true, right? So that's what this match, this regular expression match is doing. Okay, makes sense? And so now all you need to do is drag that regex OR filter to the filters pane here, right? And we can take a look at that. I can say show filter. And of course it doesn't show here. You can see I have all, you can barely see it here, all or true. And I only have, I want to have true selected here. So I really want to set this to true. But then also apply to worksheets, selected worksheets. So because I have other worksheets that I want this to apply to, I have some KPIs. I need to select those as well. So just keep that in mind. If you have other worksheets that this needs to be applied to, say OK here. And so now, obviously, I showed you that it works. If I type in, let's just say paper, you'll see I get lowercase paper here. But then if I also type comma paper, I get both. So I get uppercase paper and I get lowercase paper values as well. So that works, and it's an OR. It's not like it's an AND here. I don't have to have them both. It's an OR. So that works as intended. So now, really quickly, how do we change this to an and if I need an and filter. So I'm going to show you how the pattern looks in regular expression, regex101.com, and then we'll come back and take a look at the calculated field. Okay, so coming back to Regex 101, let's take a look at the syntax and regular expressions for an and match. So I've got this question mark and equal. That's a positive look ahead. And so what I'm saying is, if I get a match here, you see this period means matches any character. Whoops, matches any character except for line terminators. And then I'm going to modify that with this asterisk, meaning that I can have as many wildcard characters as I want, right, before I find paper. So if I'm looking ahead, if I get a match here, do I find paper, right? So I could have A, B, C, D, E, F, G, whatever I want, and as soon as I see paper, that's a hit. And then I just repeat that. I repeat that process. That's how I do an and, right? I just repeat the same process. And then, anywhere within the string, I can have as many characters as I want, right? This is the nomenclature for that, the period, and then the quantifier here for basically unlimited times matching. So that's the setup in a nutshell. And again, I don't claim to be the world's foremost regex expert. If there's a better quantification that you have or explanation, put it down in the comments. I'd love to see it. So anyway, let's test this. You see, I have plastic bag. I'm not getting a hit. Paper bag is not getting a hit like we did in the OR. Uppercase P, paper bag is not getting a hit. I have to have both paper, bag, right? You'll see I get a match now because I have both. This is an and. So again, wanted to show you how we need to sequence this in Tableau, or how we need to set up our string in Tableau in order for it to work with an and search. So let's go back into Tableau. Okay, so we're back in Tableau. I'm going to find my regex string OR, and we're going to change this into and here. I'm just going to take all of this. Let's see if I did that correctly. Basically, the calculation is valid. I just copied in this right here. And so what does this mean? So think about this. I'm leading with this between our quotation marks, and then I want to concatenate. So now I'm going to do a replace. So what's going on with the replace? Basically, when I'm going to have paper, comma, paper, but I want to replace the comma, right? I'm going to replace that substring, replace that comma. What do you want to replace it with? I want to replace it with what's in between here. So I specifically use double quotes here because it's confusing, right? So what's in between here, replace every comma with. So now this comma becomes this, right? Then I'm going to add on, well, it's going to do it as many times as it sees a comma in the string. So it's only going to do that once. Then it's going to put the, I kind of actually have this backwards here. So actually it's going to turn it into this and uppercase because that's the way I've typed it here. So first paper, then I'm going to replace that comma with this, then the second paper. And then we're going to end with this, close paren, dot, asterisk, close paren, dot, asterisk. So we end up with this, as I showed you from Regex 101. So that is what regex string OR, we need to change this to and now. So now this is an and. I can say okay. And this becomes, right, nothing to change here. Same process with the match, except I'm giving it a new regex string, right? When I find that new regex pattern in product name, I've got a hit. It's going to be true. So I can say okay. So if I go back to the main dashboard, I don't have anything with paper and paper. But let's say all right, so first let's just put that in and see if we get anything. Nope, if I can spell correctly. Paper, right? So we're going to get that hit. But let's say it's got to have paper and copier. So let's do copier, right? And you'll notice I'm getting hits within this time frame, within this time frame and the previous year with paper and copier. Every every product name here has to have paper and copier in it, right? And these are the only ones here, so you can take a look. Every product name has paper and copier here. So that is how we do the AND wildcard search. So this has been Anthony Smoak. Hope you learned something here. Again, if you need to go to the Tableau knowledge base, you can go there and do this, but you would have no idea. I mean, if you're like a normal person, you would have no idea what this means. So that's where I come into play here, just to help explain it a little bit. And like I said, if there's a better explanation, put it down in the comments, right? I'll see it. The subscribers will see it. Put it down there if you think you have a better explanation than what I have on regular expressions. So like I said, I want you to use this knowledge. You ever learn something like a day before and then have to explain it to someone, and then you have this kind of smugness? Not in a bad way, right? But I want you to have that feeling, like you use this and then you can explain why it works, instead of just saying, I don't know, just use this, it's a black box. So anyway, hope you enjoyed this tip. Get out there, do some great things with your data. Thanks for watching, everyone.